Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. Whether you're watching now, later, whenever, hopefully never. If it was never, you'd never hear this. So you'd be none the wiser, right? Or I'd be none the wiser. How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. Hope it's treating you well thus far and continues to do so. So, today we're going to look at we, the collective, me, you, I, us. Going to look at the astrology for NBA Finals game number 3. Dallas Mavericks are hosting the Boston Celtics tonight. Boston is up 2-0, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So I'll pull up the chart, see what's going on or what I think's going to happen, and yeah, go from there. I'm also going to just talk a little bit about my predictions and what I said for game number 2. So yeah, I'm going to pop in and see if anybody has said hello. Thanks again for joining, everybody. I appreciate yous. Okay, I'm going to put my phone over here. It should have been over here. Megan, how are you? You made it. Happy to have you. Always, always. Hope you're faring well. I was just, well, yeah. No bright colors, no bright lights or anything. Miss Megan, Miss Boss Megan. So let's go, Boston. If I had to choose, because I mentioned this last time, like Boston, they have a little special place because that's where Kevin Garnett went after he left the Minnesota Timberwolves and then won a championship with them. And then as far as like the Mavericks go, they're the ones that knocked the Timberwolves out of the playoffs this year. So it's kind of like, but I think as a Timberwolves fan, I'm still a little bitter. So Boston could maybe too. If Boston wins tonight, if they do win tonight, they have the potential to sweep the Mavs. So kind of a role reversal too from the Timberwolves and stuff. So yeah. Thanks again for joining, Megan. Always good to see you. Summer Home, thank you for joining us. Always good to see you as well. Hope you're having a great Wednesday thus far. What else we got? No, bronchitis. That's awful. But you're here with the first cut. Oh, nice. There you go. Yeah, I love that too. It's like things are dying down here, and then you're just getting your day started. So that's very cool. Yeah, sorry to hear about the bronchitis. That stinks, but hopefully you can just keep moving. Hopefully, too, you get a little Java jolt as well from the coffee. And if I may ask, what is your preferred coffee and how do you make it? I prefer just like a lighter roast coffee or a medium roast coffee. I don't like the French roast. Feel like you lose the flavor. And my like preferred method is a pour over, like a single serve coffee, which is quite nice. All right, Mars, how you doing? Good to see you. How are you? Everything going good? Or as good as can be, I hope. Always good to see you. Luca Longley, an Aussie, or Luke Longley, an Aussie played with the Wolves in the 90s. Really? I want to look that up. I'm interested. That's cool. Because I think were the Wolves, when were they established? Like 88? I think. Something like that. 88 or 89? 89. Okay, I'm going to look up this player because I'm interested. Luke Longley. Oh, cool. Okay. Wow, he's 7'2". Holy shit. Yeah, he's from Melbourne. I'm not even going to try to do Australian accents are really hard for me. They're fun. I wish I could do them better because I love the way that the Australian accent sounds, and New Zealand too. Let's see here. He was the first Australian to play in the National Basketball Association, where he played for 4 teams over 10 seasons. That's cool. Wow, 7'2". Oh, he's Capricorn. All right, Sun in Capricorn. He was born January 19th. And I say that because I'm a Sun in Capricorn too, so I'm like, ooh, one of us. Okay, yeah, Megan, you're right. He played for the Wolves 1991 to 94. And then he was with the Bulls and the Phoenix Suns and then the New York Knickerbockers. Very cool. Nice. Yeah. Cool. All right. Carnatic. What's going on, Max? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Bronchitis is the worst. Yeah, poor Megan dealing with that. Ooh, triple shot espresso. Okay. Pike Place roast from Seattle, straight out of my machine. Very nice. That sounds really good. Oh Oh my God, you need to do a flavored roast. Do it. Oh, yes. Yeah, Max, we know that you like you make a mean cup though. I mean, Max, you know what you're doing. Yeah. Likes the flavors. I like the flavored coffees too. I just kind of got like scared away from them because, I mean, if you make your own, that's cool too. But, all the oils and the flavorings that they put in there. But sometimes you can just turn a blind eye, right? So I know I was going to say Archer Farms, but they are no longer. Good and Gather. Target, I don't know. I like Target. Who doesn't like Target? But they should have never switched from Archer Farms to Good and Gather. So, but yeah, Archer Farms, I know, has some good coffees. And if I do a flavored coffee, I love hazelnuts. Hazelnuts really good. Or like a mocha or chocolate and hazelnuts. All about it. I wish Nutella wasn't like 50% palm oil. I stopped eating that a while back, but that shit's amazing too. He is huge. Yeah, for real. 7'2". Like, damn. Mars, what do you got? You're doing good? You quit your job. Well, I hope it was, yeah, you quit on your own accord and you're kayaking full time. Hell yeah. That sounds amazing. There was this guy that, now I just think of it, he used to pop up in my Twitter feed and he was literally just like kayaking and camping. I think he was in Europe and I don't have any idea what his name was, but he would post some really awesome pictures and stuff. Maybe his like journey ended. Maybe that's why he doesn't pop up anymore, but that's awesome. Cool. I can't do flavored aside from vanilla. Oh, or salted caramel. Oh, very good. Yeah. And like funny enough, it's just everybody's personal preference, but those would be like my least ones to choose. Especially like I don't hate vanilla or salted caramel or caramel, but I don't know why. Like I never go for vanilla or I never go for caramel. But this stuff I have sitting next to me actually. And I stopped or I try not to eat peanut butter or peanuts anymore. But speaking of peanut butter and caramel, I bought this the other day. Okay. I bought it just yesterday and it's almost gone. So anybody has this, stay away from it because it's addicting. Okay. Trader Joe's. So I definitely, and I'm trying not to eat sugar too. And look at this. Hey, Jade, I thought you said you weren't eating peanuts. Hey, Jade, I thought you didn't like caramel. Well, not like I don't like them. I just try to avoid them, but okay. I shouldn't have even taken it out. I did put it back in my freezer and I kind of like tucked it away. But at the same time, it's like I should have just finished the whole entire bag yesterday, like in one sitting. Okay, I should have done that and I failed. So anyway, anybody likes that and you have Trader Joe's near you, that shit's really good. But probably gonna take another break there. But yeah, anyway. Like I used to eat way too much peanut butter. Like I was eating like a jar of peanut butter a week. It's a little too much. So now I don't really eat peanuts or peanut butter at all anymore. But that doesn't mean I don't like it. I went to the first. Oh, nice. Yeah, it was a real. Oh, cool. I've only seen photos of it, but it looks really amazing. I think Max has been there too. Yeah. Ooh, I was gonna ask you. That's so exciting. Yay. You'll have to let me know how it goes. Good luck on your interview. When is it? Very good. I mean, you're a shoo-in, right? Knock on wood, you're shoo-in. But you know what, too? The moon is in Virgo right now, and I'm like 99% sure that that's going through your 10th house of career. So, very good. And it's in good harmony with your ascendant and the placements, all the stuff that you have in Cancer. And then I think you also have Jupiter in Taurus, too. So that's really amazing as well, because you got the moon helping your Jupiter. And I think your Jupiter's in the 6th house, right, of service and work. Very good. It sounds good. Whoop, whoop. Good luck. But you don't really need it. All right, Try, what's going on? Yeah, I did. Yeah, you must have missed when I was chatting about this a little bit. I haven't like dove deep or anything, but like, anybody that knows me, I was over Kirk Cousins before he ever came with Minnesota. I knew that they were going to do absolutely nothing, pretty much. Kept saying, like, Kirk Cousins is never going to bring the Vikings to a Super Bowl. Prove me wrong. Okay. Finally got rid of him. Yeah. Fresh start. Let's see what happens. I mean, who knows? I'm not going to talk like I've seen JJ McCarthy play a shit ton. I think I've only actually seen clips. And I found it so funny that like when I saw the picture of him, like I think he was going into like TCO or something, he was just like, whoa, like a kid going into a toy store or a candy store for the first time, like, whoa, this is where the adults go to work. Like I know he's young, but it's just like, man. But I hope it goes well for him. And I think the Vikings, like, you might as well try something because Pizza Boy wasn't working out. Okay. So let's try something else. So yeah, excited about it. And, kind of like a breath of fresh air for the Vikings too. So were you happy about it as well? What did you think? I think it was about time that they, but if they wouldn't have gotten a quarterback, like, okay, well, we'll just keep moving forward. But now watch too, like Sam Darnold is just going to like ball out and we won't see JJ McCarthy for years. But yeah, I was happy about it. I never used to like caramel. I never used to like caramel, but love salted caramel and everything. Yeah, that's salt. It hits different, doesn't it, when it's in stuff? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I totally did. And yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't even think there's like a full serving left of this. Like, I don't even know. I think I just maybe got full. Clean plate club. I lost. I'm so glad we dodged JJ in Seattle. Oh no! Yeah, Megan, I know you like Kurt. Well, you know what, Megan? You might have to become a Falcons fan. The Falcons might have to be your number 2. If you don't already have a number 2. Pizza boy. Now I just want pizza. Okay. And 2, I'm waiting for Pizza Ranch to call me because all of the publicity I gave them too, it's like, come on, call your girl. I'm a way better spokesperson. I think there are still Pizza Ranches, but you know what? They don't even need commercials anymore, right? They don't need them because I'm over here blathering about Pizza Ranch all the time, even when Pizza Ranch boy is gone. Do not take the name of King Pizza Boy. That's funny. I like that one. King Pizza Boy. We can do that. It's all in good fun, right? Of course it is. Okay. Also, well, I just kind of wanted to talk to on the before I get into the chart here, the Stefan Diggs drama that kind of has seeped its way into the news in the last couple of days, where Stefan Diggs basically was kind of like, well, Minnesota wanted to get rid of me, blah, 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 blah. And I just kind of think to myself, I remember when that all went down and I was like confident that Stefan Diggs saw the writing on the wall, like with Kirk Cousins. They're always going to go with Kirk Cousins, like always. Like he was a detriment to the team. He was literally holding everybody else back, whatever. So then Stefan Diggs goes to Buffalo, gets traded to Buffalo, and now Stefan Diggs is trying to say, well, they got rid of me and outed me. I am still of the same opinion that that's because they were coddling Kirk. Oh, Stefan's getting a little too vocal, and Kirk's not comfortable. We better get rid of him because we have to put Kirk in bubble wrap, and we need to protect him at all costs. Okay, so and now people are kind of coming at Stefan Diggs and stuff, and maybe he's kind of had a fiery attitude. He's a Sagittarius, so it's like, of course, they're ruled by fire. So it's just like some people just can't handle it. And Sagittarians, and Megan, I know you're Sag too. Sagittarians too, sometimes they don't have a filter either. So they just like say stuff and it's not meant to like hurt anybody or anything. It's just like, kind of they spew it out. But anyway, so I kind of want to go to the article here and actually read it because honestly, I just saw stuff on Twitter about it. A couple quotes from him. So let me see. What else do we have? Drake London is from USC, so I do, but Ravens are your second team. That's a good second team to have. That's good. All right. Okay, what is this Stefan Diggs kerfuffle here? Let's see. Okay, so I pulled up an article. All right, so this is what Stefan Diggs said. I think this is one of the things I wrote. I don't know if they sent me to Buffalo, they being the Vikings, sent me to Buffalo with the most kindest, with the most great intent, but all's well that ends well. I don't even think that's that bad. When I got to Buffalo, Allen is still my guy. He embraced me. We spent a lot of time, and I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So it's just like everybody's calling Stefan Diggs like, It's just like, dude, I still think he probably was like, okay, they're choosing Kirk over me. And yeah, that's probably a little prickly. And also, Stephon Diggs is a very, very good player. Like, he helped elevate Kirk too. Not the other way around. Kirk don't elevate anybody. Okay. We know that already. Okay. So I still think that the Vikings probably, okay, we got to get rid of Stephon because he's making Kirk uncomfortable. Have fun with that, Atlanta. Okay. No, you don't. Whatever. I am being nice. I am being nice. I'm not saying anything that we don't already know. Yeah. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I say this all the time. Kirk's laughing all the way to the bank, okay? He's got his money, he got paid, and all right. So there you go. I don't mind that Stephon had a problem. It's how he said things. Yeah. I mean, maybe I missed some stuff, but I don't know. I mean, he's kind of like, he's just vocal. And again, I just don't think the filter's there. But I still like Stephon Diggs. He's part of the reason, too, why Houston Texans are, they're close to being tied with my number 2 team. That is Jacksonville. And I'm going to just say that now. My number 2 teams are Jacksonville and Houston. Okay? Because Stephon Diggs is now there. And Case Keenum. So, Minneapolis Miracle Pair, they're reunited. All right. He's a beast. He's the beast going to the bank, that's for sure. Oh, really? What did you want me to call you? Or is that what you go by? Do you go by your middle name? That's cool. I think, as my grandmother says, not what you say, but oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And like, part of me like does think that this is Stephon like not spilling over and being like, yo, the Vikings got rid of me because they wanted to protect Kirk Cousins. I still kind of think that's what's going on. And I think that this is like, you know, sugarcoating way of saying it. Like, he probably could have been a lot worse too. But I mean, we'll never really know. Right. We only have to go with what, he's saying. But I think he's clearly, I will say this too. I think there's clearly like some frustration there and maybe some growth and some reflection, and maybe he's done that as well too. So, and I mean, at the end of the day, all he's kind of really saying is like, the Vikings like traded me, and I don't think it was necessarily for the right reasons. I don't know. I still think it was because of Pizza Ranch Boy, but just our opinions. But yeah, we'll see how he does in Houston too. So it's like, well, if you go to the third team and the antics are still the same and things aren't changing, maybe it's more of a you problem. But we'll see. So flying the I love Kirk flag. It's so funny. That's gonna make me laugh every time. I mean, that's great. They're out there. The Kirk fans, the stands, they're out there. Ravens, Daniel Foley. Am I saying that right? Is Aussie. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Very nice. Yep. Love Kirku. Okay. That's a new one. That's funny. No, you don't. I mean, you can love him if you want. Do you really, though? Do you really? Is it Stephon's middle figure to the Vikes? I mean, I don't think of it that way. I really don't think of it that way. I don't. I mean, maybe I'm missing something here. I mean, I think he's just trying to say, because there was some animosity when he left here. So trying to clear that out. And maybe somebody asked him, too. I just went to Sports Illustrated. Let's go to Fansided here. What do they got to say? I think it's all the same, to be honest, but I don't know. I just kind of felt like the little that I saw, people were like, nah, F Stephon, or yeah, he's so bitter. It's just like, I thought it could have been worse. Like, he's just kind of saying. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, is this all he really said? I mean, are people really, I don't know. If the Vikings sent me to Buffalo with the most kindest, the most great intent, but all's well that ends well. I don't know. It's like, Stephon, tell us what you really think. Tell us what you really think. And that would probably be, they wanted to protect Kirk, make him so comfortable, and I was getting a little too feisty, and I'm a little bit too, I'm not as soft-spoken as Pizza Boy. Couldn't handle it. So... And Adam Thielen, too. He was gone as well. Like the players too that started with Kirk Cousins. They all kind of left, didn't they? And two, I still go back. I still reference when Kyle Rudolph like put out this big thing, his goodbye Minnesota, retire, blah 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 blah. Named a whole bunch of people, players. Who did he not mention? Pizza Boy. And Kyle Rudolph is like known for being like nice guy, good teammate, good attitude, does the charity off the field, all that stuff. So, I don't know. I just thought that was very telling. And I have not forgotten. Okay. Oh, sorry. King Kurt. Okay. All right. I don't think of it like that either, but maybe. Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? Only Stefan really knows, so we'll see. Maybe we'll learn more in the future. But, two, we still haven't heard anything from Zimmer. Like, I want to hear from Zim. We might not ever hear from Zimmer, but that's okay. You don't hear bitterness. I don't either. Yeah, so it was just kind of surprising that people, but I think it has to do with, like, clicks, right? Oh, let's put on an article. Stefan Diggs is bitter. Oh, people are going to click on that. No. So, could be part of that. But it's like, if that's all it is, okay, that's it. Exactly. Yeah, it's just like he's got that fiery personality too. And Kirk is King Kirk, sorry, Megan. King Kurt is a Leo. So he's also a fire sign, but it's different. Like he's a fixed fire sign and they're very, very prideful too. So like I could see too, like him not feeling comfy if somebody's kind of ruffling the feathers or maybe poking, why aren't you making those throws? Or, I was open, something like, there could have been a lot of chatter behind the scenes too. And the Vikings at the time were like, okay, we got to appease Pizza Ranch Boy again. So Stefan, see you later. I honestly just think that's how it went down. I mean, more or less, but anywho. No, you don't. Listen to me, Max. No, you don't. There's others you can love. Plus, then you're going to have to compete with his wife, Julie, and he's got a couple of kids. Like, there's a lot of baggage there. He does have all that money, though. So. King Pizza Boy. Sorry. I got to slap my hand. Sorry. I'll try to get better. Sorry. Okay. Randy Moss, stop. Okay, Randy Moss. I think he might have actually mentioned Randy Moss in that. I'm just kidding. Randy Moss hasn't played for the Vikings in a minute, but that's fair. Oh, that's funny. You crack me up, Max. Clickbait, we get that all the time. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Click, click, click. All right, who's going to click on this? Your dad was a Leo. My dad is also a Leo. And he was not prideful, but took things to heart big time. Well, there you go. The Leos, they rule the heart chakra. They're ruled by the sun. The sun rules the heart chakra. That's why, a lot of times they can be very, very caring too. And it's interesting for Leos too. Like some of them really want the spotlight on them. Like that's what they want. Like a lot, like Anthony Edwards, he's a Leo. A lot of like flashy personalities. God, who else is a Leo? Is Madonna? I think Madonna is also a Leo. But like these flashy personalities, right? And then sometimes on the flip side, a lot of Leos, they don't want the spotlight on them, but they want to help put the spotlight on others and help others. And I think, again, it goes back to them being very, very caring. Yeah, because, again, they're ruled by the heart chakra. So, yeah, that's cool. But, yeah, my dad's a Leo, too. And I'm a Leo rising as well. Max, really? Do you? No, I don't know. Yeah, Max, come on. I was like, yeah, Randy Moss, but hey, I'm impressed, Randy Moss. I'm not even gonna bring up. Actually, we could, since we're talking about some NFL drama right now. Before I get into the chart, Mr. He Who Shall Not Be Named, biggest crybaby of all time, that is no longer with the Evil to the East, but he's now the quarterback with the Jets. Where has he been? Okay, the old quarterback. For Green Bay. Oh, you're not showing up? Because he's got something important to him? Oh, okay. It's like, do we even think that He Who Shall Not Be Named, is going to even play for the Jets at all? Okay. I doubt it. Your dad was the opposite. He never wanted to have the spotlight and would always deflect to others. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes too, I found with Leos, like, it's just like they want like the attention to the ones that like the attention. It's like they want it on their own terms. Like, and they're very prone to like being easily embarrassed, even if it's something to like celebrate them. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I am. Thank you. Yeah. So, anyway, he's been MIA as of late. So, tough for the Jets. All right, people, let's get into the chart. What do we think about that? All right, I'm going to pull up the chart here for the game tonight. All right. It is game 3. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's so funny. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's just like, dude, where are you at? Where are you at? He made the news too recently. And two, like back to the Stefan and he who shall not be named stuff. It's like the off season right now for football, so people are grasping at anything and everything. Speaking of Sagittarius, that's another Sagittarius too. He who shall not be named is also a Sagittarius. So there we go. He's skipping mandatory mini camp this week. Okay. He's skipping all of Jets minicamp for odd reason. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to Sports Illustrated. What is this odd reason? I don't think we know. On Wednesday morning, we have now learned the veteran quarterback will be skipping the team's entire minicamp because, quote, he prefers to be somewhere else away from football. It's like, okay, then I honestly think, too, that he who shall not be named, he just likes the attention. Like, he maybe has no intent on coming back and playing football. Like, who the F knows? But he's a little attention seeker, too. And then he's probably like, ooh, everybody's talking. Everybody's wondering where I am. So then I'll be able to come back and tell everybody what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, man. Angel, how you doing? Everybody's got our wings. Good to see ya. Hope all is well. Thanks for joining. Are we really laughing out loud? I am. I mean, I'm not against that at all. Like, I'm not going to talk shit about that because I'm all about it. But I've never done ayahuasca. But I know people that have done ayahuasca. I think maybe someday. But it's too intense of a journey for me right now. But yeah. So, I mean, if he's like 420 friendly, I'm all about that. But yeah. All right. Wish you luck on your laundry. Also, when the moon is in Virgo, like it is right now, it's a really good time to clean. Okay. If anybody's feeling cleaning or laundry, any of that stuff, it's a good time to do that. All right. Virgos like the cleanliness, and the moon just amplifies that. And sometimes too, when I am cleaning, I'll then look and the moon is in Virgo. I'm like, oh, okay. It makes sense why I'm on this like cleaning spree right now. But good luck with your laundry. I actually finished my laundry yesterday. So. Ooh, you're thinking Dallas tonight? All right, let's get into it. Oh, is he on another one? Are we sure? All right. Well, that's cool. I bet eventually, too, he's going to start his own retreat. That's totally what it's going to be. He's going to start his own retreat, and it's probably not going to be for the plebs. It's going to be for the celebs, right? Not the plebs. It's for the celebs, not the plebs, okay? So, all right. I could see that happening, like him. Maybe that's what he's doing now. Like, he's already preparing for after football, stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, he could be. All right, so chart. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, I don't think we have to talk about this anymore. Gosh, people, it's so crazy. Stuff just gets blown out of proportion so quickly. All right, chart for the game tonight. Oh my gosh, game time in almost 20 minutes. I should have done this. Excuse me, I should have done this first. Let me see here. All right. Here we go, peeps. All right. Angels got Dallas tonight. All righty. Well, per usual, here we go, people. Planetary pregame, NBA Finals 2024, Game 3, Wednesday, June 12th, in Dallas, Texas. Yeehaw! All right. Dallas is back. And like I said, the moon is in Virgo. All right. So I'm going to look at both teams' planetary rulers, look at the moon, and giddy up here. All right. So Dallas, they're back tonight. They're represented by Sagittarius. Sagittarius has been a popular sign that we've been talking about right now. So Dallas is ruled by Jupiter because Jupiter rules Sag. So Jupiter is right over here in Gemini. Now, I mentioned this before. Oh, actually, before I get into this, for game 3 tonight, I do just want to circle back to game 2. Let me pull up my nerd notes here. So for those of you that were on the live stream, thanks. Appreciate that. But I had, let me pull this away for a second. I'm going to stop just for a second. So I'm going to go over game 2. So game 2 was in Boston, and I had thought that the game was going to be a lot closer. It seemed like from the chart that Dallas was not going to get like blown out of the water, that they were going to keep it tight. They were going to keep it close. They were going to play a lot better. And they definitely did. Like Dallas hung in there for the majority of the time. They even had the lead. I think at halftime did they have the lead, or kind of when I popped off the stream. So that came to fruition. Angel asked me about a technical foul. I don't think there were any technicals. And I thought maybe if there were to be a technical that it would come from Dallas, but there weren't any to my knowledge. I watched pretty much the majority of the game. And I had Boston winning the game. And I had them winning in a close one by like 1 to 3 points. Now they ended up winning 105-98. So a little bit more, but not as big of a blowout as before, because the other game was like they won by like 17 points or something like that. Anywho, so I just wanted to touch on that. That I found that to be kind of cool, that especially like it was pretty evident in the chart that the game was going to be a lot closer. So, and it was, but Dallas couldn't get it done. So Boston ended up with the victory here. My dog's bringing me toys, so if you hear squeaking and stuff, that's what it is. All right. So back to the chart for game 3. I think that's all I wanted to touch on. Back to the chart is similar because it's the same time, but it's in a different location. So we're in Central Time Zone as opposed to Eastern Time. All right. So there we go. All right, so game 3. Here we go. Now, like I said, Dallas is represented by Jupiter over here in Gemini. So the one thing about Jupiter in Gemini is it's in its detriment in Gemini, because Jupiter naturally rules the sign opposite of it. It rules Sagittarius. So when Jupiter is over here in Gemini, it doesn't necessarily feel really comfortable there. Now, for Dallas, they're represented tonight by Jupiter, which is the greater benefic planet. The benefic planets are Jupiter and Venus. So Jupiter's the greater benefic. So that bodes well for Dallas, just having a benefic planet ruling them. However, I don't like the fact that Jupiter is in, again, what's called its detriment in Gemini. So it doesn't do its best. It still works, but it just doesn't feel as comfortable. So another thing that I always look at is the moon. Now, the moon is not doing anything with Jupiter either. So the moon is kind of like past its communication with the Dallas Mavericks. Now, when I look at the charts, the moon is extremely crucial for many, many things, for timing, significator of who may win. So it's like, Dallas, that's nice that you're represented by Jupiter tonight. I also think, if I remember correctly, that Luka Doncic is, I believe he's a Pisces. Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter as well. So he's kind of ruled by Jupiter in a sense. And we've kind of seen like Luka necessarily hasn't been playing like the exact same caliber like he was playing versus the Timberwolves, for example. And we could equate that to the fact that Jupiter was not in Gemini when the Wolves and Dallas were playing. So now that one of Luka's like main planets is in its detriment, we can kind of see his game has been a little bit off. So just something to, to notate as well. And also for Dallas, what I do like for them tonight is that their fifth house of games is in the sign, lands in the sign of Aries, and Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is in their fifth house of games. So I do think that they're going to be, balling out tonight. They're back home. They're down 2-0. Like, this is really important. Like, if they go down 3-0, that's getting close to the grave. Okay. So that's good, but also like, all right, is it going to be enough? Another thing that I don't necessarily like for Dallas is that Saturn is very, very close to their IC here, which represents their home, their arena. Now, Saturn being close to an angle, the IC is an angle, that can be very challenging. That could be hard. And there could be some restrictions there that may be a little bit slow. It could potentially mean that it could take them a little while to get going. Maybe the crowd isn't going to be, as much into it as they normally would be. Something like that. So just something to look for. And then the other thing that I'm looking at for Dallas here is their 10th house, how they're going to show out to the public tonight. Now, the moon is very, very close to their 10th house. The moon rules the people. It'll probably be a packed house. The moon is moving towards how they're going to show out to the public tonight. So I do like that for them. But it's just, I don't know, like Venus, Mercury rules their 10th house of how they're going to show out tonight. And Mercury is in Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini, so that's good. However, Mercury is combust right now. It's very close to the sun. It's like, get too close, you're going to get burned. But Mercury, out of all of the planets, is the one that does the best being combust, because Mercury moves very, very quickly as well. So it's like in and out of there. All right. So anyway, what do you got? And then I'm going to get into Boston a little bit here. I'm thinking it's going to get touchy. Tension tonight from Dallas technical. Yeah, Angel is just like all about when is those technicals going to happen? I mean, I don't know. I will watch for that. I'm going to watch for that. And if there is a technical foul, I'm going to try to see what is the trigger out of the chart for that. Now, I did mention a technical foul in the or people getting feisty or hot-headed. I did mention that in the Wolves Dallas series, and lo and behold, Chris Finch got a technical that night, the head coach for the Timberwolves. Did I say Vikings? I meant Timberwolves. But I equated that to Mars being in Aries. Now, Mars is in Taurus now. So, because Mars is already kind of like hot-headed and fiery and can be angry. And then Mars being in Aries, which is a fire sign, Aries can be a little quick to pop off. So it just kind of, that stuff was heightened, in my opinion. But, all right. Thanks, Megan. Always good to see you. And possibly we'll see you when you get back. All right. If not, hope you have a great rest of your day. And always great to have you join us. All right, so now I'm going to dive in here to Boston a little bit. So it's just, and that's another thing that I've found with the NBA Finals, with all of the charts that I've looked at, they've been, I mean, they're all hard, but there hasn't been one thing that is screaming okay, this team's definitely has the upper hand here. It's really having to look really, 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 really deep and dig for something. Because sometimes, I don't want to say a lot of the time, but sometimes when you look at a chart, it's there's something so glaringly obvious that is okay, this team is going to win. And a really good example of that is actually the last game versus Timberwolves and Mavericks. I completely looked over something that was screaming that Dallas was going to win. And not only did they win, they kicked the Wolves' ass. They were up by 40 points at one point, or almost 40. And looking back, it's because not only did Dallas have Jupiter, the greater benefic, on their side, they also had Venus, the lesser benefic. So they had two of the best planets helping them and assisting them. So, anywho's. All right. So now let's dig into Boston a little bit here because, yeah, game time in like 12 minutes. So, Boston, they are represented by Gemini over here. And I did touch on that a little bit already, but we'll talk about it again because we're talking about Boston right now. So, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And for Boston, they have Mercury in their first house right there. It's like the planet that rules them, and boom, it's right there. So I also think they're going to be laser focused too. It's like they don't want to lose any steam just because they're going to Dallas now, right? They really want to put the pedal to the metal. But I could see a little hiccup there, and I know that Porzingis, I believe, is out tonight. So that could be an example of Mercury being so close to the sun here and it being combust. All right. So I like the fact for Boston that they are ruled by Mercury and Mercury is in a sign that it rules, but it's so close to the sun. So close. It's within like 2 degrees. So again, it's losing, Mercury's losing some of its power there, being combust. And then the moon is in Virgo. So the moon is working towards tension, or what's called a square, to Mercury. So I don't like that for Boston. The one thing that I do like for Boston with this is the fact that the moon is in Virgo, and Virgo is the other sign that is ruled by Mercury. So the moon and Mercury are both like in each other's, like, they're kind of like interchangeable a little bit. So that's a little bit more assistance to Boston. Now, Boston's fifth house of games, how they're going to play the game tonight, is over here, landing in the sign of Libra. Now, Libra is ruled by Venus. So, lo and behold, look at this. Boston has Venus right there, too. Now, Venus is close to the sun, but she's moving away from the combustion. Okay. So, it's like, I could see this game being another tight one tonight, Like, 1 to 2 points here. Like, close one. All right. So another thing that we looked at for Dallas that we're now going to look at for Boston is their 10th house, how they're going to show out to the public tonight. Now, their 10th house is over here in the sign of Pisces. Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter, that rules, what do they call Dallas tonight? And if you look at Jupiter, it's in the 12th house for Boston, which is the house of what is hidden from you. It also is, secrets, prisons, hospitals, but hidden enemies as well. So for Boston, Dallas is creeping. Okay, they're creeping up on them here. All right. So I don't necessarily like that for Boston. Also, not to mention that we got Saturn right there. Saturn slows things. It brings delays as well, which could be more evidence that potentially Dallas could win this game tonight and extend the series. All right. So the one thing that I also look at is the part of fortune. We've talked about this before because as it stands right now, just looking at the 5th house, 10th house, and the moon and the planetary rulers for each sign, there's good and bad for both. Good and bad for both. Like nothing is screaming out at me yet here, and that might come to bite me later. It's happened before, probably going to happen again, but I'm always learning. Now, for Boston, if we're looking at the part of fortune, this is an Arabic lot. So this is the part of fortune is right over here in the sign of Aquarius. Now, the part of fortune is at 26 degrees of Aquarius, and Venus is at 24 degrees of Gemini. So the part of fortune is making good, harmonious communication with the sun, Venus, and Mercury, which all represent Boston tonight. Okay. So does that mean that Boston's got the edge now? Now, if we look at the part of fortune when it comes to Dallas, the part of fortune is in good communication with Jupiter, but it's not as strong as the Sun, Venus, and Mercury. All right. Now, one thing that I like for Dallas is that Pluto is in their second house of their money, the things that they own. And Pluto is in good harmony with Jupiter, which represents Dallas. Now, this is where I'm going to make the prediction. And I'm sort of getting like the same feeling that I've gotten in the past, and then I ignored it and I was wrong. But I feel like it's not as strong. So, the thing that I don't like for Dallas this evening, I mean, there's a few things, but so the next form of communication, I guess we'll say, which is also known as an aspect, the next communication that the moon is going to be making is it's going to be opposing Saturn. So the moon is up here in Virgo, and it's going to be directly opposite Saturn. So Saturn rules Boston's house of money, what they own. Okay. It also rules, Dallas. And for Boston, it rules other people's money. So I don't like for either team, really, that the moon is going to be directly opposing Saturn. But we shall see. I just want to get to these comments. Oh, thanks, Angel. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You have a wonderful evening as well. I will. Thanks a lot. We'll see what happens. I think you're going with Dallas tonight. All right. Very good. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. That's so nice. I appreciate everybody watching and liking and doing all the things. You guys are the best. All righty. So, all right. And then another thing that I wanted to point out that I do like for Boston this evening is that the moon is in their third house. 1, 2, 3. The moon is right there. Oh, the pointer's gone. So the moon is in Boston's third house. Now, the moon loves being in the third house. She gets, she feels good there. It's short distance travel. It's communication. And then the moon being in Virgo, which Virgo again is ruled by Mercury. Boston ruled by Mercury as well. So, peeps, this is another toughie. Now, I will say that when I originally looked at this and was going through this yesterday, I immediately thought Boston was going to win. Now, I don't know why it was immediate. I think it was because of Venus over here, because of Mercury being in its own sign. However, again, we got to remember about this combustion. Okay, so both of the planetary rulers for Dallas and for Boston tonight, both of those planets are dealing with things that they don't like. Jupiter is in a sign that it doesn't feel comfortable in, and Mercury is flying really close to the sun. However, again, Mercury's probably the planet that does best being combust because it's so quick, and Mercury is usually really, really close to the sun anyway. All right. And then I also wanted to touch on, I don't really talk about the lots a lot, no pun intended, the Arabic lots. I mainly only kind of look at the part of fortune. But if we look at the lot of victory, which is right over here, that's in the sign of Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun. And the sun, again, is in Boston's first house. It's helping them. So I'm going to go with, my original prediction. And I'm going to pick Boston to win this evening and to go up by 3 games. Now, my main thing My main reason for deciding to choose Boston instead of Dallas is because of the part of fortune over here that is in good harmony with the sun, Venus, and Mercury, which all are representative of Boston. All right. So we'll see how it pans out. I do expect the game to be rather close. And I think something that we can look for is the crowd being very, very feisty, very animated, but at some point maybe losing steam or not being as loud as vocal as they could. Again, because Saturn is really, really close there. And Saturn and the moon again rules the people, is going to be opposing Saturn. And Saturn slows things, causes delays, but that's just for Dallas. Saturn also plays its part for Boston too. But I am going to pick Boston to win tonight. And I think if it does come back to bite me, and I do get this wrong, and Dallas does end up winning, I think it will be in part because of the moon moving so close to Dallas's what's called MC, midheaven, how they show up to the public tonight, having the home court advantage, the people maybe rising to their feet and really encouraging too as well. All right. So I appreciate everybody listening. And yeah, we'll see what happens. It's game time in 1 minute. So I got the prediction in right before game time. So that's my main goal usually, is to get it before the game. So yeah, we'll see what pans out here. And there's always more to look at. And it's just like peeling a layer of an onion. So the birth chart or the astrology chart. So anyway, and then just because I'm a little bit bitter over here, but I mean, I read this chart as objectively as I could too, because with astrology, you just have to be objective. It's like the subjectiveness is only going to hinder what you're trying to read. But me as a Timberwolves fan, I'm still a little bitter. Okay, speaking of bitter Bettys or whatever, bitter Stephans, I'm still a little bitter, okay, about the series with the Timberwolves, even though the Timberwolves shit the bed and didn't show up. I'm still bitter, and I'm still kind of pissed a little bit at Dallas. So if they go down 3-0, well, sounds a little familiar, like how they went up 3 games versus the Wolves. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And as a sports fan, I just hope for a good game. And I'll definitely be watching along and looking at the chart. And 2, I'm going to write it down also so I don't forget, is looking for the technical foul. If there is a technical foul tonight, I'm actually going to write that in red too. Technical foul, what in the chart reflects that? So, anywho's, anybody else have anything? Any parting words? I'm just like chatty over here. I could just keep talking. But all right, everybody. I think that's it. I think that's all I got. I might eat the rest of this, circling back to the beginning, but we'll see. We'll see. Because then, if I eat it, then it's gone. All right. It's not whispering to me like, oh, you're still in here. You could eat this. All right, peeps. I'm going to take that off. All right. And we're back over here. I thank everybody for joining this evening. Hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday or Thursday, whatever time it is, wherever you are on this lovely planet that we call our home for now. All right. So, and yeah, we'll see what the stars have to say for the game tonight, I guess. I mean, I tried to read it as best I could, but yeah, I'm hoping as an astrologer that I got it right, but I've been wrong before. So might happen again. But like I said, I'm always learning. So it's good for me. And I am hoping to do a prediction for the rest of the games of this series, however many that there will be. I did miss game 1, damn it. But hoping to power through here. So, all right. I thought I saw something come back in, but nope, I already got to that one. All right, everybody. I think that's all I got. So again, I appreciate yous. And again, my prediction was Boston. Oh, I didn't do a score. I didn't do points. Crapola. I mean, I think it's gonna be a close one. Like 2 points. I don't know, something about like 2-point victory. All right, I'm saying Boston. Close one. Let's say Boston by 2. All right. The points are really hard. I mean, all of it's hard, but one day too, when I really figure out what the trigger from the chart is to signify what the points are going to be, woo, I'll be unstoppable then. But until then, I'm always learning. But all right, peeps. Typical Minnesota fashion, doing the Minnesota goodbye, the long goodbye. All right. Or I think also it's, do they call it, well, whatever, Minnesota goodbye, long goodbye. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, everybody. Boston fans, good luck. Dallas Maverick fans, good luck. And yeah, let's see how it pans out. And again, I'm hoping to do game 4. I believe that's Friday. I think I have it pulled up here. Yeah, it's Friday. So maybe I'll see y'all Friday. But